Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today going back to some old school beer. My brewmaster actually, Tom, I think he was in the Bamberg video, yes. Recently went on vacation to Germany to visit family and brought back a few cases of different well-brewed traditional German beers. And he was kind enough to give me a bottle of each to review. So today we're going to be looking at some nice historic beer brewed in the traditional way, still tasting very good. So this is from southern Germany, this is from Bamberg, and this is from Mahrs Bräu, and this is the Mahrs Bräu Ungespundet Naturtrüb Kellerbier. So Mahrs Bräu is from Bamberg. It's one of the historic family breweries in Bamberg. Bamberg have loads of breweries, and loads of them are family-run breweries still to this day, which is really cool. This is a style of beer that's quite popular in southern Germany, especially in the Bamberg region, Kellerbier. Kellerbier is an interesting style. It's kind of a cross-breed style, if you can say it like that, because there's quite a few variations on it, but they're kind of the same. So you say Kellerbier, you say Zwickelbier, and you say Ungespundet Bier. So that's like three distinctions. Zwickelbier, for example, is usually taken out of the maturation tanks a bit young from the small handles, and therefore also they're quite hazy. That's a very classic thing for all of the variations on the style, that they're hazy lager beers. Then there is the Kellerbier, which is very similar as well, but it is just a little bit more hoppy. It's not as hoppy as a North German Pilsner, for example, but it has a more powerful hop addition compared to, say, like a Helles lager, which is also very, very popular in the area. And then you have the last kind of variation, which is Ungespundet Bier, which means beer that has been aged or matured in open maturation vats, so they're in contact with the air. So not in a closed vessel, so that means also that you're not going to have as much carbonation as in other lager beers, because it's not under pressure. So that's kind of like the difference between them. It's generally a nice hoppy style that is unfiltered, and it needs to be drunk really fresh. The fresher the better. Having it fresh in Bamberg was amazing. The only thing with it being outside of Bamberg, it's a bit harder, you know, you can't get it dead fresh. So these historic lager beers from Bamberg and the surrounding area kind of almost died out. It's an artisanal, traditional product. They're still there now, and I think they're a bit more popular nowadays because of what's happening with beer and people getting more interested in beer because of craft beer. Some people also like to seek out the good traditional stuff, and I like to try the good traditional stuff once in a while. And one thing I really enjoyed lately are very well-made lagers. So the Mahrs Bräu Ungespundet has Hallertauer and Perle hops in it. And I guess they put in some Munich malt to get the color, because it's a little bit darker than your average lager. But now the head unfortunately faded. But when I poured this for the shots on camera, for the thumbnails, it had a gorgeous pillowy head. I'm filling up too much beer to smell it. I should think of that. Oh well, I can't really generate as nice a head as when I poured it out. But it looked amazing. Big, rocky, foamy head. You can see a little bit of it forming there, like a white color. It looks quite effervescent, but this also is one of those glasses with a later aging widget in the bottom, making it a bit more effervescent. But as you clearly see, it's much darker than a Pils, and it's unfiltered. You know, it's quite hazy, which you'd never see in traditional Pilsners, for example, or usually Helles lagers. And that's why Kellerbiers are, you know, a bit different. And that's, they're a bit fresher. I think they're a bit more hoppy, like your traditional Helles lagers. So it's quite nice. I actually really had one of my favorite Helles lagers, or not Helles lagers, Kellerbiers, was from St. Georgen Bräu. I could get it locally super fresh in Steins. Amazing. I drank loads of that back in the day. But looks nice kind of golden orange color. Let's check out the aroma on Mahrs Bräu Ungespundet Kellerbier. Yeah, classic, fine, noble kind of hop aroma to it, perfumey, grassy, lightly lemony and peppery, and a really nice, sweet, crisp Pilsner malt aroma to it. Very bready, actually. Almost a hint of like a slight caramel tone, which I think is because they use a bit of Munich in there to color it, but it smells classic, like classic lager beer. Actually, it smells really nice. And much more aroma to this bad boy than the mass-produced junk you can buy in the supermarkets. It smells quite nice. This was, so like Tom said, they have about 6 months shelf life, meaning this bottle here is from November. So it's not the freshest, but getting it, it's a whole different story getting this down in Bamberg than drinking it out of the bottle at home, I bet. But let's try it, guys. Cheers, and thanks to Tom for the beer. That is really refreshing and really, 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 really well brewed lager. It's interesting how I really flamed and shunned lagers when I was getting into craft beer, but that was because what I was used to was a lot of the mass-produced stuff. These kind of traditional, artisanal, well-made lagers are just so tasty compared to all that crap the big breweries produce. Not as fruity as like the St. Georgen Bräu Kellerbier, but it has some kind of nice fruity esters and like a bit of an apple thing. Lots of peppery, grassy, fresh cut grass, slightly perfumey hop character, like spicy, noble hop character. Powder really shines in it, which is funny enough the hop we usually use for our pilsner at work. Oh yeah, very nice, sweet maltiness, crisp, clean. It has a bit more mouthfeel than your average lager, slightly chewy, and I think it's because it's you know, it's got a bit of sediment, it's hazy, so that lends a bit to the mouthfeel of the beer. So it's got like a medium but just slightly slick, silky mouthfeel, almost like that you'd find in a porter, which is pretty interesting, or a buck. But it's much more refreshing and easy drinking. I'm almost getting a bit of a light honey sweetness to it here. This is really, really excellent traditional beer. If you've never had Mahrs Bräu Ungespundet Naturtrüb, you should get it. It's probably the best beer Mahrs Bräu does in my opinion. I tried pretty much almost all of the beers they produce when I was in Bamberg. This was my favorite. I still enjoy the St. Georgen Bräu Kellerbier a bit more than this, but this is still very nice Kellerbier, and it's a style of beer that's very nice, but it's very hard to find. So it's nice that Tom brought this one. But rating wise, it's not my favorite Kellerbier. It's a very good example of the style and really nice, but I think I prefer the St. Georgen Bräu a little bit more just because it's a bit more fresher and a bit more hoppy than this. It's got a bit more of a fruitiness. This is a bit more malt driven, at the moment at least, but that might also be because it's a couple of months old by now and not as fresh. And it's, of course, completely different if you have it down in Bamberg in the city. But I'm still going to go like an 86, 87 on it. It's a very well produced lager. Very nice Kellerbier, worth a shot for sure if you want to test out some traditional German, very well brewed lager beer in the style of Kellerbier, Zwickelbier, or Ungespundet Bier, which is quite hard to come by. But I think this is one of the examples that you can find pretty much most places. I think Shelton Brothers imports it to the States, but and so refreshing. I almost drank half of it already in this review. But yeah, guys, that does it for the review of the Mahrs Bräu Ungespundet Naturtrüb Kellerbier. Let me know what you think of this bad boy. If you've had it, what is your favorite Kellerbier? And do you really enjoy lagers once in a while like me? No bullshit, no fuss, just nice, soft, delicate flavors. I enjoy that once in a while. It's quite nice. So let me know, guys. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.